gonna make a post about this, but I was looking into UFOs the other night and really meditating deeply on it. And what I kind of came to the conclusion about Aquarius and UFOs is that I kind of feel like the word alien has lie in it. And kind of what I realized is like our idea of what aliens are probably a lie. Like what we've been told aliens are, what most people think aliens are a lie. Because the thing is, most likely these aliens that abduct people are government created robots. You know, they're probably AI. You know, I kind of feel like as an Aquarius, I've had to really think deeply about what this alien shit is, and like, you know, Area 51 and all this stuff. And what I kind of realized is like, you know, these are probably the shadow government probably has a lot more advanced technology than we think. And you know, I kind of feel like these gray aliens are AI robots created by the government to run scientific experiments on people without their consent, you know? And people have always said, like, when they're abducted, these people who have been abducted, they've been gaslit by people to thinking they're crazy when they're not crazy. They're not crazy at all. These are literally government created experiments to run scientific experiments on people. You know what I mean? These are not actual interdimensional aliens. You know what I mean? So what we think of aliens are a lie. You know what I mean? And I kind of feel like a lot of people who have had experiences with these government created aliens are Aquarius people. Like you think of the guy who went on Joe Rogan's podcast who told his alien abduction story. He was an Aquarius. There's a guy on Netflix who has this whole documentary on him right now. He worked at Area 51. He's an Aquarius. I think his name is Bob something. And a lot of people who were abducted in the Berkshires in Massachusetts were also Aquarius. And when you think about Aquarius's ancient ruler is Saturn, which rules the government. You know, it rules the government. And the thing is, the shadow government exists as well. And what I think are like these gray aliens, they're not real. You know what I mean? It's a lie. They're literally robots. They're created by the government to abduct people. You know, these are not true interdimensionals. You know, true interdimensionals wouldn't need to run all these scientific tests on you if they were that advanced. You know what I mean? So that's what I mean when I'm saying that, like what we think, take it from an Aquarius, the word alien has lie in it, because these are not real aliens. You know what I mean? And a lot of these government created AI aliens who are unfeeling, for the most part, people will tell you like they feel very like they have no feelings, and that's because they're literally technology. So people think these aliens are advanced technologically, but really they are the technology itself. These aliens are the technology itself. You know what I mean? And these people who have, you know, worked at Area 51 will tell you that, like, they figured out how to, you know, run these UFOs and how to fly these UFOs. You know what I mean? And there are certain, I forget what it's called, like, you know, they have a lot more advanced technology than we can think. It's the government. It's human-made aliens. You know what I mean? So I've kind of really thought deeply about this with Saturn and Aquarius. Like, what is all this alien shit going on? And, like, a lot of these AI aliens, too, they're agents of the Matrix for the most part. So they will keep people in fear. You know what I mean? That's why I think these abductions, these UFO abductions, part of the purpose, too, is to make people fearful, you know? When true interdimensionals, you know, true interdimensionals don't even exist in the 3D. They don't exist in 3D. They exist in other dimensions. You know, these gray aliens that abduct people, these are beings that exist in 3D, but it's because it's literally robotic. It's AI created. You know what I mean? And a lot of these aliens also have bases in different parts of the world, but the moon also has a lot of these AI created government robots that live on it. You know, I think a lot of these bases are on the moon, you know. So I'm going to read your comments, guys. That's what I've been thinking. They seem to be working UFOs to manipulate us on our beliefs. There's been an uprise on alien sightings these past years. Yeah. And the thing is, you know, the more sightings people are seeing, the more likely, like, they're trying to keep us fearful for some reason, you know. And it's also to make people fearful of the unknown and, you know, make people fearful of space travel and shit like that, you know? We're meant to think that these aliens are like very advanced and like they have all this spirituality, but literally they are robots, you know what I mean? They are created by the government, you know, to, you know, run these scientific experiments on people against their will. So, you know, once you awaken to that idea, like once you see that, you know, you're no longer in a matrix program, you know what I mean? Because we've been programmed to think these aliens, you know, are actual time traveling interdimensionals. They're not, you know what I mean? That's why I think that you will meet those Aquarius people who do seem like they are literally robotic, you know what I mean? Like Aquariuses can come across as very unemotional. And you know, those are the Aquariuses that more so align with these government created aliens, where I think that like Aquarians who are actually here to spread this information resonate more with these interdimensionals that most likely don't visit Earth, you know what I mean? And most likely our last contact with actual interdimensionals was possibly the Anunnaki, from what I've looked into. But other than that, I'm not really sure. But, you know, all these people who have been abducted and shit like that, these have been created by the government, you know? Probably it was as soon as our minds started expanding, you know, as soon as we reached the age of Aquarius, you know, they knew that our minds were expanding and we were opening up to the idea of life on other planets, you know what I mean? And because of that, now it's time to trap us in fear, you know? Now it's the time to, you know, manipulate us and like completely warp the our ideas of life on other planets, you know? And like I don't know. I was thinking very deeply about this last night, and then I realized Venus went into Aquarius, and I was like, oh my god, that explains why this shit just started all of a sudden coming to me, and I started getting these downloads. Aliens are not fun for the most part. If you're talking about the aliens that are lies, the aliens that are part of the program, you know, the government created aliens, they're not fun, you know what I mean? They're more like bugs. Think of them as bugs, you know what I mean? Your computer, your phone can get bugs. These are what these aliens are. So I do believe there could be interdimensional beings that have contact with people, but the thing is, I don't think they exist in 3D. You know what I mean? They exist on other dimensions. You know, you can only probably channel them telepathically, where I think that these, you know, these government created aliens also know how to transmute information telepathically, but it's not psychic, you know what I mean? They're not translating this information psychically. They're translating this information through some type of very advanced technology. Pluto and Aquarius is about to get crazy. I am just talking, yeah. I'm just talking about some of these downloads I had last night about, like, UFOs, you know what I mean? And I've been trying to, like, you know, try to really figure out what the fuck is going on, you know what I mean? The word alien has lie in it. What we think of aliens have been a lie, you know? What's in your backpack, though? I don't have a backpack. What time is it, guys? Because I don't want to pause it. Can someone tell if anyone's on the Eastern time, Eastern Standard Time, let me know what time it is. Oh, damn, it's only 3:28. For some reason, I thought it was a lot later than that, because I have to be off this live a little before 4. So, but yeah, if you guys kind of were curious about, you know, what my thoughts are on UFOs and stuff, that's kind of what I've come to the conclusion about. So, I feel like it's the most genuine thing, you know what I mean? Because if these aliens were so advanced technologically and all this shit, why can't they reproduce? You know what I mean? Why? It just doesn't really make sense. Why do they have to run all these scientific experiments on people if they're so advanced? You know what I mean? I might do some readings for the collective, maybe. I don't know. What do you guys think we should ask? I might make a video about this, you know. I might make a short with just like text and maybe post it so I can get, you know, it trending a little bit. And then maybe we can talk about all this UFO shit another time. But Pluto and Aquarius is about to get pretty crazy with this shit, you know what I mean? With the technology. Because from what I know too, a lot of their technology also has to do with consciousness, like transferring consciousness, you know what I mean? So a lot of these people who are born in positions of power, you know, they literally, their consciousness is just transferred into people who are on the, like, upcoming, you know what I mean? Like celebrities, you know, a lot of their consciousness has just been transferred to each other. So I don't know how they do all this shit, but I just know that it exists, you know what I mean? Let's just see what comes out, guys. Let's just see what comes out, because I feel like I'm not making sense, but I'm trying to, like, tell you guys about some of this, UFO shit that's been on my mind. Look for orbs in the sky that look like satellites. They will start to move left and right and blink. Yeah, and the, I'm pretty sure the green UFOs are just watchers. Like, they stalk people and they watch people, and the blue UFOs actually abduct people. But get it into your brain that, you know, these UFOs that people are seeing are government created, you know what I mean? They're not actual aliens. And I feel bad for, you know what I mean? People love to fucking discredit Aquarius and call Aquarius a conspiracy theorist. And, you know, that whole idea of conspiracy theorists and shit like that is literally just meant to discredit people. And people love to fucking shoot the messenger. You know what I mean? So I think people love to call Aquarius a conspiracy theorist to fucking put them down. But I've literally experienced that. You know what I mean? I work with other psychics and shit in person. And, you know, I'm a lot younger than them, but, you know, they love to, you know, kind of argue with me about this shit and literally just, like, call me a conspiracy theorist, you know what I mean? Because they don't want to listen to me, you know, they want to discredit what I'm saying. Look for orbs in the sky that looks like, oh, I read that. I've seen orbs, yeah. The orbs. Look at that. The Chariot and Eight of Wands. Some of you guys are going to go on a very long road trip. Like, this to me would be like something, this to me would be like having to literally fly somewhere and then take a long car ride to wherever you're going. Some of you guys, this is just moving a lot faster. You know, time is moving faster. You feel like maybe your routines are moving faster. I get this very quick, snappy kind of energy. Rihanna. Who's excited for Rihanna to start putting out music again? My other spiritual friends have photos of the blue, green, gold, and white orbs. Yeah. I just knew about the blue and green orbs. I didn't know there were gold and white orbs. But I'm kind of curious about it. But this is what I mean. Like, you shouldn't be, like, these gray aliens, you know, you shouldn't be looking up to them as gods or looking up to them as, like, very, you know, spiritually advanced things, because they're literally not real. You know what I mean? It's literally AI. We have a serious Discord where we talk about them. I would love to. You know what? I need to get a Discord. I see a lot of people who have those in their bio and shit, and I feel like I would fit in with people who use that. Look at the Empress and the King of Swords coming out. I feel like some of you guys, like, want to be, especially my feminines out there, like, you guys want to be very, you know, you guys want to enjoy your body a lot with your partner, but I feel like your partner is very intellectual to the point where, like, they don't know how to please you. You know, that's the thing. I think King of Swords, he represents air signs, and sometimes air signs are not in their body, so they suck at sex. Like, let's just be real. Like, some air signs can suck at sex because they're not in their body. And that's kind of what I'm getting with the Empress and King of Swords. Like, if you're a woman who, like, you know, you embrace your sexuality and, like, you really want someone who's gonna please you, you know, finding these King of Swords types aren't going to satisfy you. You know what I mean? Because he's too intellectual. You know what I mean? He lives too much in his head. He's not connected to his body. You know, if you're a very, you know, spiritually in tune person and you're in your body and all this shit, you're not going to be satisfied with people who are not in their bodies. You know what I mean? Who live in their brain, you know? So, yeah, King of Swords is a little bit, ugh. But I love King of Swords, you know. I'm King of Swords. I would associate myself with King of Swords because I'm an air sign man, you know what I mean? But I think that King of Swords, he is very hard to reach sometimes, you know. I think King of Swords can be very, King of Swords can come out as a misogynist sometimes, but, you know, to me, he's more of someone who can just come across as a little bit cold to people. I think King of Swords represents people who have high positions, though, who are very trusted and very looked up to as far as their brain, you know what I mean? I think a King of Swords is like police, lawyers, judges, you know, people who are very high, have high positions, you know what I mean, who are seen as very important by society. That's King of Swords, you know? I don't think I'm a psychic or a medium, to be honest. Like, I would use the word psychic very lightly because I'm not a medium. You know what I mean? I don't hear things from things outside of me. I just get information in my head. So, like, the only mediumship I can really do is I can get names in my head that pop up in my head, but I don't really hear things. You know what I mean? And, you know, I don't channel false white light beings. I don't channel archangels and stuff like that. So I'm not a medium like that, you know. And a lot of psychics are fake anyways. Like, if I was gonna actually channel dead people, or if I was gonna channel like these historic figures and shit, you better bet. Or if I was gonna tell the future, you know, and shit like that, you better bet that I would be telling you some shit that you don't see on the news. And, you know, something that, you know, that can be proven. You know, if I was going to make predictions, I want it to be spot on. You know what I mean? I want it to be like, so, you know, I don't know if I would call myself a psychic or a medium, you know. And I don't know, there's so many fake psychics, guys. There are so many fake psychics that, like, literally to label myself a psychic, I feel like I'm putting a fucking target on my back, you know? And I also believe that my psychic gifts have been a very slow progression. You know, I feel like it's grown very slowly, but it's getting there. So I do believe in spirit guides in a way, but not as, I don't believe they're literally, like, I think your spirit guides are more your ancestors. I think what people think spirit guides are could be false white light beings. So I kind of believe that your spirit guides are more so your ancestors. You definitely can predict stuff with astrology. You definitely can. You know, there have been astrologers who have predicted a number of things. You know what I mean? There's one astrologer that predicted 9/11, and it was like dead on. I forget her name, but you can look it up. There's also one of the founders of astrology. It was a woman in I think it was the 1920s. She was an Aquarius. She really she made some very accurate predictions with astrology. I think that Vedic astrology, I think, tends to predict better with like historical events and shit like that. But Western astrology is definitely something I believe in. So yeah, I think your spirit guides are your ancestors. I don't think they're these like random angels and stuff like that. I think your spirit guides could literally just be your ancestors, you know, and not your ancestors who were bad, you know what I mean? I'm talking about your ancestors who were very strong and like were very aware of being a multidimensional being, you know what I mean? Because if you had ancestors that were like did not have higher consciousness and shit like that, you know, they probably don't even have enough energy to like they probably just reincarnated, you know what I mean? They don't even have enough energy to probably guide you from the other side and from the afterlife. So, you know, so I don't even connect with spirit guides. I think I more so just like kind of talk to my ancestors. So, but then again, guys, like I more so connect to my ancestors who have been through hard times. You know what I mean? I'm more so because I want to like thank them for what they've gone through. So like I'm very Irish, you know, so I like to, if I were to, you know, burn ancestor money, I would burn it for the people who survived the Irish potato famine. I'm Armenian, so I would burn ancestor money for the people who survived the Armenian genocide. You know what I mean? But yeah, I've been thinking a lot about ancestors too lately. You know, I think that the North Node in Taurus can be about ancestors. Taurus has the energy of ancestors to me, because think of a tree. Like, trees are very connected to ancestors, you know what I mean? Because of the roots in the ground and shit like that. And when you think of the family tree, I kind of think of Taurus as the ancestors, you know? And let's not forget, Uranus has been in Taurus since 2018, so that's been a return of the feminine, you know what I mean? That's been a return of the divine feminine. So that's why I think you see a lot of people calling themselves witches and wanting to like get into all this stuff for the aesthetic, and it's because it's more so because the feminine came back, you know what I mean? I'm a Taurus. Shut up. Taurus has very goddess energy. You know, Taurus has the actual feminine. I think Libra is the more masculine side of Venus, where Taurus is the more Aphrodite side of Venus, like the literal goddess. You know what I mean? Taurus is more so like the naked woman that attracts everyone, the Aphrodite. Like, that's Taurus, you know? Libra is very much so a more masculine side of Venus. So... But Tauruses also represent witches, you know what I mean? Because think of Taurus represents women, and it also represents the earth. And a lot of people who, you know, were labeled witches back in the day were people who were women that worked with herbs. They were healer, they were into medicine and all this stuff, you know. Witches work with the earth, you know what I mean? They work with herbs, they work with plants, you know what I mean? And then you get labeled a fucking witch, you know? So if someone were to call me a witch in like a bad way, I would tell them to fuck off, you know what I mean? Don't fucking call me a witch, you know? Because your idea of a witch is not an actual witch, you know? Because a witch to me is just someone who like believes that Mother Nature's the divine feminine, you know? I think the moon is kind of the false divine feminine. I think that you know, I think that a lot of people through the New Age beliefs and stuff like that have looked at the moon and worshiped the moon as the divine feminine, where I really feel like the earth, you know, the earth is the actual divine feminine that deserves worship, not the moon, you know? Not the moon. I honestly feel like if you're someone who is very into moon worship and it's because you like to honor the divine feminine, try to redirect more of the energy to the earth, you know what I mean? Because she's the true, you know... She's the true mother when you think about it. You know, this is something too with with us leaving the age of Pisces and shit. I think that we're gonna leave behind certain idol worships we had. So Jesus, Buddha, you know, Jehovah, Yaldabaoth, like literally the devil that people have been brainwashed into worshiping, you know. Christmas has literally, like, we have so many people in the world who, you know, celebrate Christmas and they don't even realize that they're worshiping Saturn. They don't even realize that they're practicing Saturnalia, you know what I mean? So the age of Pisces, you know, we're leaving behind the lies, you know what I mean? We have to leave behind the lies, you know? Don't look at these government-created aliens as gods, because they're literally AI. They're literally government-created, you know? Idol worship will give your power, you know, will convince you to give your power to something outside of you, you know? And that's what Pisces does, you know what I mean? Pisces believes in the Most High, so Pisces is gonna sometimes give up a part of themselves to something greater than them, you know? But what they learn from Aquarius, I think, is to really rein in that energy and to make sure that they're not doing idol worship, that they're not worshiping celebrities that are probably fucking part of blood cults or something like that, you know? Pisces is my chart is filled with water signs. I don't know how to do the renegade, guys. I want to learn how to dance, though. I think I want to try to do more dancing TikToks, but I'm not good, so I don't want people making fun of me. Aqua H for the win. Age of Aquarius, baby. Alright, I don't know what time it is, but I might end this live, guys. Let's see. Queen of Swords at the bottom. Clear mind, clear thinking. Not taking shit from no one. This is the energy I'm planning for the rest of the month. Very Queen of Swords. Very much so. If you fucking reach out to me during Mercury retrograde, get fucked. Get fucked. It is not genuine. It's a fake apology. I have no time for your bullshit. I am literally on a fucking cloud 9 and you are on the ground. I fly so high in the sky that I am colder than you. You know what I mean? The higher you fly in the sky, the more cold it is. I'm a fucking hawk and you're a fucking bird. And I literally am not going to respond to any text messages from exes, you know, from friends that I cut off. Do not text me. I am a cold fucking shield. So, peace out, guys.